Yes. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Sachin Deshmukh, and I have an 20 years experience of teaching social studies subject for 8, 9, 10th as CBSE board. So, as I'm going to teach the topic that is resources and development, but before that, I want to introduce my class C10 Educare Khadakpada branch, and that is one of the most, you can say, the intellectual and famous class in Khadakpada and in the Thane region. So, let us start our topic that is resources and development. So, what is the meaning of resources now? So, resources means anything which is available in the environment which has the capacity to fulfill our needs are called resources. Okay, so anything which is available in the environment which used to satisfy the human needs are called resources. Okay, so there are many types of resources, you can say the natural resources, man-made resources, conventional, non-conventional, renewable, non-renewable, exhaustible, inexhaustible, and finally we are all here human resource. So there are total 9 types of resources. Okay, so first we have learned the meaning of resources, then second we have learned the types of resources. Now next is development. So what is the meaning of development? So development means it is not a short term process, it is a long term process. So development means we need to attack on the selective worst form of poverty. We need to overthrow the poverty, then we have to attack on unemployment, then another problem, whatever the problems of the nation, we need to solve that problems, then only there will be the development of the nation. So development means we have both the things, positive and negative. So positive we need to grown up, and negative we have to solve it or remove it from our country. So what are the positive aspects or positive indicators of the development? The first one is increase in our national income. Second, increase in our per capita income. Third, increase in our standard of living. And the fourth important factor that we need to improve in our health system and educational system. Then only there will be development of the nation, that is India. Okay, and the negative aspect or the negative indicators, we have to attack on them, like we have to remove or eradicate the poverty in India. Second, we need to attack on unemployment. You know, unemployed means the person who is physically and mentally willing to work but doesn't get the job. That's why in India there are many kinds of people, they are unemployed, like seasonal unemployment, frictional unemployment, and a technological unemployment, educational unemployment, and because of unemployment our country can't able to develop. Therefore government have started many schemes to remove unemployment from our country, that is employment guarantee scheme. Okay students, understood? That is very important. And we have to attack next important, that is black marketing, smuggling, corruption, terrorism. If these bad things are removed and the problems are solved, then there will be development of the nation. Okay, so we have learned the meaning of resources and development. Okay, the next topic, let us learn the second one. Okay, the meaning of resources they have explained here. Everything which is available in our environment and which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable, they are called as resources. Understood? So this is the meaning of resources. Everything which is available in our environment, okay, which are used to satisfy the needs. So what is available in the environment? This is, suppose this is a marker, or you can say this is the pen which is used for digital board. So this is also having the use. The fan is also used. The air which we breathe, that is also used So everything which is available in the environment are used to satisfy our needs, which are technologically accessible. So technologically accessible means they should be actually provided to each and every people of India. Technology is available, but it should be accessible also. Available and accessible, there is a difference between them. Availability means the food grains are available, and accessible means that every person should get the food grains. Okay. And economically feasible means what? That the technology available, the food grains are available, all the goods are available, but they are economically feasible means affordable. Okay, it should be an effort to everyone able to purchase. They should have that much money to purchase the product. Okay. And culturally acceptable means what? It should be well defined, for everyone. That is the meaning of resources. You can able to see here all the resources. You can see. Next important topic, that is interdependent relationship between the nature, technology and institution. So there are three important physical environment. The first one is nature, second one is technology, and third one is institution. So these are the three important indicators of the development of the nation. Human beings interact with the nature. Yeah, we interact with the nature because we require oxygen, we require water, we require land, we require sun rays, we require all the natural resources. So we are connected with the nature. And the second important point, that is technology. So technology is also important for the growth of the resources, So technology is important for the growth of the resources. Without technology, no resource will develop. Suppose I have a land, and land is as a passive factor. We have to make it land as an active factor. So how the land will become active? When we use and harvesting machineries, then we can use chemical fertilizer, pesticides, insecticides. We can use many types of machineries, tractors. That is technology. Understood? And institution means what? The institution is nothing but the various government institution is also there, and there are also private institution like companies, sugar factories, iron and steel factories, cement factory. There are more than 8 lakh factories, 8 lakh industries, which help us for the development of the nation. So these are all interdependent. Nature, technology and institution are interdependent. They cannot survive without them. Okay. So this is our second important point. Now the next point, that is classification of resources. What is the next point now? Classification of the resources. So resources are natural resources and man-made resources or human resources. Again, the natural resources are renewable and non-renewable, and the human resources are structural and quantity as well as a quality. Okay. Then renewable are continuously, okay, flow of the wind, water, etc. Biological. Non-renewable are recyclable and recyclable, and most important, non-recyclable. Okay. Natural vegetation like forest, we have learned about forest now. Deciduous forest, evergreen forest, alpine forest, है ना? And the wildlife sanctuaries or national parks. Okay, so natural we have learned, renewable, non-renewable. So what are renewable? The renewable resources are which can be renewed for, we can say sunlight, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy. They are renewable resources. Non-renewable means they cannot be replaced or cannot be reproduced again and again. Once it is used, cannot be reproduced. Understood what is non-renewable? Next, human, structural and institutional. Now institution means the political institutions like judiciary, executive and legislative. Okay. Then quantity and quality. We have the quantity, 144 crore people are living in India, but there should be a proper quality among themselves. So what is the quality? That honest, punctual, discipline and versatile, that quality also need to be improved. Okay, in the human beings. How the quality will improve? By education. by technology, by various means of methods. Okay. Next is renewable or continuously. Wind energy, solar energy, tidal energy are all renewable. And biological means all the plants and animals. Okay. Non-renewable is the fossil fuel. Okay, you can say the coal, petrol, diesel, they are all understood, everyone. The classification of resources. The next one, that is here they have explained. Okay, so this is a most important factor. Next point we are going to learn now, on the basis of origin. So on the basis of origin, the resources are biotic and abiotic. Biotic and abiotic. Biotic means living. Abiotic means non-living. Okay. So what is biotic? Obtained from the biosphere. You know what is biosphere, no? Air, water, land, all are biosphere. Okay. They have the life. Means they are all living resources. They are all living. Okay. So all examples: human beings, flora means flowers, fauna means animals, fisheries, livestock resources, all are biotic resources. Understood? Abiotic means non-living. Rocks, metals, benches, they are all non-living, means abiotic resources. Understood? That is also very important. You can see here the biotic factors, abiotic factors. Okay. Next important points that we are going to discuss with everyone, on the basis of exhaustibility. So exhaustibility means some resources are get exhausted. Like you can say here, you can see the sunlight and receives from the sun. Okay, then the plants, they can also get the food for the development. Then you can see here the most important water cycle. You know water cycle, you know the water cycle process. Yes, very good. So this is called as exhaustibility, and this is called as, okay, how the resources are completely exhausted and utilized. You can see the coal, which is non-renewable. Okay, you can use the petrol, you can use the batteries. This is all non-renewable. Once it is used now, cannot be reproduced again and again. So that's why they are exhaustible. Okay. So let us learn now about renewable and non-renewable resources. So renewable resources are those resources which are replaced resources which can be renewed or reproduced by the physical, chemical and mechanical process. Example: solar energy, wind energy, water resource, forest resource and wildlife. They are all called as renewable resources because they are having a continuously flow. We can able to convert them. Solar energy also can convert into various forms, like solar cooker, solar heater, solar battery, solar solar car, solar, many things which can renew. Okay, wind energy is also used to generate electricity. Water is also, hydroelectricity is produced from water resource. So non-renewable resources are from substantially long and geological time. It requires a lot of time to produce non-renewable resources like coal, petrol. You know that the coal is obtained from the carbonization of the plants, and it requires millions of years for the production of the coal. And the coal having four types: peat, lignite, bituminous, anthracite. Okay, the iron ore, the fossil fuel, coal, petrol, diesel, iron ore, which cannot be recycled, and once it is used cannot be reproduced. You have to conserve them, protect them. We need to have a stock of them, then only there will be development of this non-renewable resources. Understood? Next important point that we are going to discuss, that is renewable resources. These are the examples. You can see the windmill, the factories, the solar energy which generate electricity. These are all renewable resources example. Okay. Next point is on the basis of ownership. Individual resources, community owned, national and international, on the basis of ownership. Owner means the, you can say the owner of the factory, owner of the individual property, owner of the nation. You can say not the nation, but it is a national property. Like you can say monuments, No, national property, international. So let us learn one by one. Okay, what is individual resources? So we are going to learn all one by one. Okay, what is individual resources? So individual resources are those resources which are owned privately by the individuals, like land owned by the farmers. Okay, allocated by the government against the payment of taxes. Revenue means the tax farmers have to pay, land tax. Okay, so that is individual resources. Plantation and pasture land, ponds, waters in the wells are owned by the individuals. They are all individual resources. Plots, houses, properties owned by the people, all are individual resources. Okay, community resources, you can see the community resources are those resources which are accessible to all the members of the community. Hindu community, Muslim community, Christian community. There are many communities which are used the grazing grounds, burial grounds, village ponds, public park, picnic spots, playgrounds in urban areas. They are all community resources. Okay, understood? Natural resources. So natural resources are what resources which are used for the nation. Okay, roads like Kacha Road, Village Road, State Highway, National Highway, District Roads. Okay, Golden Quadrilateral Highway, metros are many, canals, indurated canals, and perennial canals. Railways, railways. Okay, minerals. What is the meaning of minerals? Naturally occurring substances which are available in our underground. Okay, and minerals having chemical compositions. They are good and bad conductor of heat and electricity. Water resources are very important. Okay, rivers, ponds, lakes, dams, they are all water resources. Forest is also important for the development of the nation, like deciduous, evergreen, alpine, thorny forest, Himalayan forest, mangroves, all are important. Wildlife is also important because they are most important beauty of the nature. Land within the potential political boundaries, land boundaries and oceanic boundaries. There are two boundaries. Land boundaries are how much? 15,200 kilometers, and oceanic boundary is 7,517 kilometers. Okay, so that is very important. The territorial water refers to how much? Oceanic area 12 nautical miles, means 19.2 kilometer, of the Indian Ocean, or you can say the coastal area. The country have legal powers to acquire when the private and public properties are utilized. Urban development authorities get employed by the government of land. Okay, so we have learned natural resources. Next one is international. So what are international resources? The regularly and a certain international institution like UNO, WHO, WTO, they are international institutions, organization, and the oceanic resources are utilized for 200 kilometer. Economic zone, okay, these are most important international resources. India has obtained a right of the mine manganese modules from the bed of the Indian Ocean, from the area which lies beyond the exclusive economic zone. So this is also very important. Understood? So I will stop here. Thank you very much.